Hello.
Hello, everyone. Live from my grandmother's basement. Today, we're not celebrating a specific comedian associated with Planet Scum. No, we are celebrating an artist associated with Planet Scum. This one right here, who made all of the excellent, amazing merch, which many of you have already procured. And we have this big fancy box that we have not opened all week. I don't even remember when this got here.
This came here Monday. So it's only been a couple days.
We've been waiting. It has felt like a lifetime until we are able to break this baby open and show off some of the really awesome shit that we got. Oh,
this box. This box right here.
This one right here, 1 hour tease. That's a lie. It definitely took longer than 1 hour for them to come here. Forced appreciation time, for sure. I fucking love it.
One thing I just want to highlight is the fact that there's just pictures of Colt Cabana.
That's Colt Cabana?
Yeah. Right there.
Just because 1 hour tea loves Colt?
Yeah, Colt is a big deal with them. It's a big deal with them. It has...
Who's 1 hour tees? Let's talk about that, because apparently...
So it's below the collar is the version that we have, but it's through 1 hour tees, which also runs Pro Wrestling Tees.
Oh.
Which does all the shirts for AEW, which is the wrestling promotion that has Orange Cassidy currently.
Love him.
But I agree, Bootleg Bart, this is a very fun box. Very fun box.
I like the pink.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, it's they do Pro Wrestling Tees, they do Comedian Tees, and Gethard's separate store is on there, and Planet Scum is on there with all our great designs.
All of the great designs. We didn't order all of the designs.
Yeah, that's something that we want to mention at first. I didn't order all the designs in part because I wanted to leave some available for holiday presents, so people could get me those things for holiday presents, because I am notoriously difficult to shop for. Oh, thank you, Head Cheese Henry.
Thank you. That was all this guy working while I watched The Crown. Damn, those royals, though.
But yeah,
they don't have merch as good as this. Nope.
I don't think they do. But
they totally have merch, but not as good as this.
You can get Funko Pops of a lot of the royals.
They're basically only merch at this point.
Before the Crown, you could get Funko Pops of the royals, of like William and Harry and all that.
Did it go to them? Or are they like public figures and therefore...
I think it's their public figures, but I have no idea.
Well,
yeah, there's plates, just like Butterboy and Buttergirl. The royals have plates, so the royals are in very august company.
Yes, and there is not as of yet plates of this person.
No, there are not plates of me yet.
And so we but have to celebrate their incredible merch. Who's calling you?
No one. I thought someone was. I thought you tapped me on the shoulder to.
Oh
tell me to look at your phone.
I was tapping you on the shoulder. Oh no, what it is that Instagram wants to let me know that Who Wants 269 exists, and that it is an account that I follow.
If you don't follow at Who Wants 269 on Instagram,
freaking do it.
Please do it.
Kelsey Kane runs that. If you don't do it, you're not a feminist. You know, there's a lot of fluff.
Also, your face, which seems like a better.
There's a lot less fluff. There's a lot of mucus, though.
Well, that's true for both of us. The allergy season is bad out here in your grandmother's basement. But let's move on.
We're going to start unboxing, and if you want to show off your merch, fucking let us know. We'll get you on the
less carrot.
Probably phone screen.
And by let us know, she means DM me or her on Discord.
Yeah. And then probably like ping us here too.
Yeah, tell us here too. But
let's see what we're doing. So we're gonna first destroy this glorious box. You did not think about how hard. No. Oh, just because you're not doing the pointy part of the scissors, so it will be a little difficult.
There it goes. Yes. No, I didn't think about how hard it would be to get the box open, but I also figured that's part of the comedy. The Gethard guarantee. We may not open a box efficiently, but we will be entertaining while we do it.
Oh, look at this. Okay, so we got more wrestlers. We got...
Me sneaking out the order confirmation form, and I don't think any addresses showed.
Don't come to our house. San Francisco has a curfew.
But look here.
Oh, what is this? Oh my god! Oh
It's
my
the
god!
Dyke Rice and Planet Scum hoodie.
I can't even deal.
And so-
Wait, which one is mine? What size was mine?
Mine's the XL.
Okay,
That's
this is just the L. This is mine. Look at my sweater, everyone. Tell me about the Dyke Vice design, because this is the one that you are honestly the most proud of. Tell me about designing it and the parts that I suggested.
I don't remember which parts you suggested, so
I do.
chime in with
That's
them.
okay.
So this one was a really fun one to do because, as you can see, it's a parody of Robbie's iconic McGill hoodie from Dyke Vice. And so I thought, oh yeah, McGill parody needs to look like McGill's thing, right? So let's talk about the lengths I went to make sure it looked like McGill's, like a McGill hoodie. Now you're gonna have to move that out so I can see the monitor.
And that started with you Googling the McGill logo and finding the style guide, correct?
This was me. This went into me looking up the McGill Visual Identity Guide, which is the official McGill.
Sounds like fashion
brand
or something.
standards. Like they have how you're supposed to use the logo, which is derived from Garamond, which is the font that also used to be used in all the Apple ads back in the day, and so it's included
Think different.
both
McGill does.
on the Mac and also in the Adobe fonts. There's versions of Garamond, and I use the Adobe font version to do both the Dyke Vice logo and the with Robbie Hoffman. And I had to do the spacing to make sure Robbie's name fit around the Y, the stem of the Y. Let me do that, because this is, I think we're a little bit more visually interesting than this brand identity page.
This
It's just kind of
fantastic
static right
website.
now.
This
And
fantastic
so-
static website. Are
Yeah,
you
they have
kidding
the
me?
red, the reds that they use. This didn't come into play, but if I had to pair everything, I would have been trying to stick to these. Because while I'm not using anything directly from the McGill setup, like the McGill, graphics library or anything like that, it just had to. I agree. Fuck yeah, Garamond. It is my favorite sweet, sweet modern serif. It's still on its way. They had the biggest sales day, I think, in below the collar history, which I think, or probably in 1 Hour Tees history, which I fully think Planet Scum takes credit for. Like, it's definitely us and not the fact that Sting showed up on AEW a few days later.
Really?
Not, which Sting do you think it is?
Probably not the one that
not-
showed up.
It's not the tantric sex aficionado / musician who was on Studio 60. Yeah, I absolutely do take credit for it. No, I think it's so cool. I love that I had the concept. Let me do the deep dive.
He fucking loves that kind of shit.
Well, yeah,
You kidding me?
I'm always worried about Sting hurting himself. He is very old to continue to be wrestling.
But let's talk about
the
this
crest.
coat of arms. Let's talk about this crest
so
right
McGill
here.
famously has
3
their
birds.
crest with 3 birds, a book, and 2 crowns.
Yes. And although the crown is a Jewish symbol, the idea of the crown of Torah, as we are a people who follow the law,
Yes.
not a person. But look at this. Who suggested the Torah scroll?
It was you.
Yeah, but the scroll says it's not nothing. Isn't
You
that
should repeat
great?
all that because I feel like our internet cut out for a second during your big thing.
Oh, isn't it cool?
Yeah,
Look at this.
Emily is the one who suggested using a Torah scroll instead of a book, and she had a big dramatic reveal of that was the case. and I think you missed it.
Well, mostly because you're like, I'm not sure that a scroll is going to fit. And then you started drawing scrolls, and I'm like,
perfect.
my dear, that's not how a Torah scroll looks remotely.
No, I
and so we Googled Torah scrolls, and he was like, oh, of course.
Reference images of Torah scrolls because I'm that much of a Gentile. But yeah, it turned out great. I'm really happy with it. I love that. And then the Jossie Joe.
Jossie Joe, so perfect. At
Replaced all
first
the
you were
birds.
doing,
At
so
first
talk
At
about,
first I did cat heads.
yeah.
Because I was trying to match the birds, which all have their little dot eyes. Mm-hmm. And actually, let me pull up the McGill logo.
Once more.
The actual McGill logo just as an image so we can compare and contrast. Because I think I'm very proud of the fact that I think if someone near McGill saw someone walking down the street in this hoodie, I'm not sure they would,
see it.
give a second glance. And so as you can see, yeah, at first I was replacing the birds with cat heads so that I could match the eyes more clearly. And instead I ended up going without eyes. And then the crowns were replaced by Stars of David. And then the Torah replaced the book. And instead of the motto that they put in it, I put, "It's not nothing."
And tell me about some of the other, rejected elements of the crest.
I mean, I was going to try to put, let me get a little bit more on camera. I was going to put Robbie's van.
Yes.
In the mountains, as if it was driving up the mountains on a journey. But rejected that because at this scale you wouldn't really see it, and I think it would have just looked like printing errors or noise rather than actually being readable as Robbie's iconic van that you can rent.
And do you want to know the big secret? Should you reveal the big secret about Jossie Joe? Do you know what the big secret is?
No.
So this cat...
No, you have to reveal the secret after you tease that.
This cat is Jossie Joe.
Yeah.
Right? It looks like Jossie Joe, doesn't it? Looks just like Jossie Joe, doesn't it? We got some pictures of Jossie Joe from Robbie, of course, to put Jossie Joe. No, Gatsby looks like a very different cat, but you know what we did do is I told Forrest, look, it looks like any other short-haired cat. We have to find the right image online.
I will actually correct you a little bit.
Is it Jossie Joe?
It is Jossie Joe. I did the silhouette of Jossie Joe's head. Because that is so distinctive, and then I looked at other cat bodies to try to match it up and match because I wanted that I realized that was the exact pose I wanted. And I'm really happy with how that turned out.
It looks fantastic.
And I love it. I think it does a good job. Like, it really, you can tell it's evoking it. I didn't do the scroll underneath because I just wanted to make it bolder, and Robbie's doesn't have it, as I recall. But yeah, I'm so excited with that one. I'm going to wear that one so much.
We got our fantastic Dyke Weiss sweatshirts. Get them while they're hot off the press. This is a soft goddamn
they're very
shirt.
soft. They're going to be so comfortable.
Look at the nice fluff inside. Can you see how nice this fluff is? So nice.
And if any of this is making you really crave a shirt, go to planetscum.live/merch where you can buy one. And not only the shirts here, there's more shirts available there that you need to check out.
But the next thing I wanted to pull up here is what you saw right next to.
Yes.
This fantastic Dyke Weiss shirt. Friends, behold the hoodie.
The iconic Planet Scum hoodie.
The gray hoodie, nothing on the back. It's classy as fuck. Which one is this?
That's yours.
Yes.
It's a nice heather.
A very nice
So it's not
heather.
just a flat black. It's got some nice texture there.
Yeah, nice texture. When you spill soup all over this.
I love that, Doofus Clown. That's a good
Oh,
order.
that's incredible. Fuck yeah. That is a fantastic order.
I think that's a great idea, Allie. Definitely a post-Christmas shopping spree.
Oh, it's nice. This right here is a Northern California hoodie.
Yes.
Because it's light and layerable. Yeah. That's
Very
what our
layerable.
deal is. Wow, and this is so cuddly. Okay, this is the one that I had planned on putting on. And when you spill soup on it, it will not show that stain because it's a nice heather. That's something that's important to me. As a person
That
who
is also
spills
something important to me.
things all the time on her clothes.
What?
Look how cute this is. Behold our cuteness. Here, wait, let's stand up and model how cute we are. Oh, look how cute we are. Wow. Wow.
Wrong side. This
Wow. Wow. Really, we're just
mirroring is
seeing
very
me and how
difficult.
cute
The
I
mirroring is
am.
very hard.
And so this particular design, this planet, who was it designed by?
That's Cohen.
This is Cohen. This
Yeah.
is a Dave Cohen original right here. And tell me about your role putting together
So on
the
this
things
one-
that were not your design.
On this one and the ones that I didn't design from scratch myself, it was mostly about learning how to position them because we just wanted to make sure that everything was in the right spot on the shirt, and that's not always where you would
And think about
expect it to be on the canvas.
how it would just be one
Yeah.
square down to have some titty planets.
Yeah, you have about
And
like,
I'm gonna be real, I miss the titty planets. I did want 2 scum planets
'Cause
on
you-
one on each titty, so that when I walked around the city of San Francisco, I could be like, behold my.
you have about a
My
12,
scummy
a 12
titties.
inch by 12 inch area that you're trying to like place it in. And these were slightly different. This was also like, but that was what I did on this was more just working out the placement. Yes.
See, Allie wants titty Yes,
That was
planet
what-
scum
that was what Emily wanted.
pasties. That's yes. Titty planets are what's up, and it's a little bit of a precisely.
But no.
It's almost anti-feminist that we don't have planet titties. Almost.
I'm just laughing at Henry's. Booty walked out.
You're right, Annika. It is fucked up.
But you know what's not fucked up?
What's not fucked
What's
up,
not
Forrest?
fucked up is the
Oh, look! No, wait, there's a cat! Oh my god, is the cat gonna get in the box? Everyone, is the cat
hope he does, 'cause
gonna
we
get
can then go to the
in
top view.
the box? Is the cat getting in the box? Let's see. Oh, it's sniffing the box. He's not much of a box cat, you know?
No, he's not a box cat.
He's more
But
of a
look at
bag
those.
cat. He likes sitting on top of bags. Wow!
Look what's in there now.
Wow! Speaking of boxes. Da 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 da. No, your camera is not going out of sync. This is a super cool triple layer 3D design. Tell us about this one. This one you actually.
This one I designed.
This one you designed
and also when I
from
say-
scratch.
When I say I designed from scratch, I also want to give a shout out to Bryson and Jess, who gave me great notes on refining all of the designs.
And this one, I recall that Bryson was like, I want Geth's head in a box.
Yeah, that was his idea. And initially, I did a much like a flat white. The white on this was the original drawing, but there was just something missing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it was good, but it could be better. And then Bryson suggested, wait, what if we do a 3D effect? And I think that was totally the right call because it really made it pop. And one thing that I think is very cool about how this printed is you can even see, doesn't show up quite on the video as well. So we can either hold it up or enlarge it, but you can see where the lines all overlap. You get the intersection points between all the lines are rendered really well in the final print, which I'm really happy about because
It can get muddy.
it can get muddy, and that was one thing I was a little worried about when it came time.
Them being a little too
For
close
this.
together because you were experimenting a lot with like how far apart can the things be and not just become visual mush.
Thank you, Doofus Clown. It was a birthday present.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much, Doofus Clon. I have no idea what
It's the Stream Deck.
Elgato is. The Stream Deck?
The little thing that presses the buttons on.
That was a birthday present? Not from me to Forrest, but I approved
Yes,
it.
you did. But one thing I did on this, just in case you're ever trying to make a shirt that has these kinds of lines, is there's a white line underneath the blue line and underneath the red line to make sure that when printed on the dark purple, it doesn't just get lost.
I love that it's a purple shirt too. I'm a big fan of purple.
I am too, and I think it's
everyone
perfect
knows-
for Planet Scum Live.
Yeah. It's the color of mystery and mysticism. Forrest, do you want to tell me about the 4 headlines that
No.
we've got going on here?
Yeah, no, I mean it was
So, because originally, I recall there being more forehead lines.
Yes.
And now there are fewer forehead lines.
That is correct.
Yet somehow more forehead lines.
Well, there's... Depends on how you count the lines on here. I count each line once. You know, like, I count these as, like,
So there's
echoes.
6.
I count these as echoes of the white line. But I think
Okay,
it
so
turned
we
out
only
really
have
well.
2
But I think it turned well.
forehead lines.
And I mean, also, my rendering of my Gethard was inspired by some of the other drawings of Gethard that are out there, including the ones you can see on the Gethard Land shirt.
That also only have 2 forehead
No, I didn't
lines.
no, Geth was very supportive through this whole process.
Geth said nothing. Let's just be clear. I don't believe that Geth ever said anything about how many forehead lines
He
were
didn't.
seen.
I want to be very clear about that.
That Chris Gethard said nothing about the amount of forehead lines.
Gethard was very supportive, and he gave some great feedback throughout it and some other alternate ideas, but
I just thought
wonderful.
I just thought it was funny. I just thought that when Forrest turned the iPad around to me and was like, "Emily, does it look like he has too many forehead lines?" And I said, "Forrest, what?"
because I didn't want it to get
He didn't
too
want there
busy.
to be too many
I wanted
forehead
the design
lines.
to be like readable and good from a distance, and
I'm just saying, I found that really great to talk about the forehead lines. Shall we talk more about the forehead
let's move on
lines?
to something else.
Does anyone want to join us to talk
Let's
about
move on
the
to
forehead
something else, Emily.
lines?
Emily, let's move on to something else. I know that me saying that is just going to make you do it more, but let's move on to something else.
I don't know. I just think that perhaps we're not alone
this-
with having information about forehead lines
This
here.
was another design that I did.
This is another design.
And this one has an interesting story behind it, I
this
think.
is the sandwich night shirt, everyone.
Yeah,
all
this
right.
is the official 10th annual Sandwich Night shirt.
Another nice gray heather, but in a nice lighter color,
Yes.
so that when you spill sandwich fillings all over your shirt, it's visible.
But the origin story behind this is, I think, something fun to check out,
Oh, is it?
which is this is not the first time I drew a sandwich, or I should say, the first time we drew a sandwich in this
It was
style.
primarily you.
It was primarily me, and this one is me. But the original one... Oh, okay, that's not going to work.
We're trying to get on Instagram
I'm trying
to show
on
you.
Instagram
But
to
you know
show
what
you
we
the
can
original
do
one, but
is
what?
I'm going to go on Instagram on my phone and then hold Instagram up to the thing. If only I could. No, okay.
So,
I
you know,
thought I wasn't.
This was
signed on.
the 10th annual Sandwich Night, but it is not the first Sandwich Night that we have done art around, because last year, when Chris Gethard Presents was still an ongoing thing,
Am I going crazy? How do I get to my own thing?
you tap on the right side.
I actually am on Instagram
No, she
a
is on
non-zero
Instagram.
amount, just liking things, mostly doom scrolling.
But
Honestly,
it was based on art that we did as We Are Trash People for the 9th annual Sandwich Night, which was very fun in 2019.
it was very, very fun. Ah, here we go. Okay,
But there's an important
Friends.
difference.
we got a Gethard face. Yup, Gethard face right there.
Last year it was the Gethard sandwich.
So you can see that the sandwich is basically the same, but what is inside is not the sandwich. I mostly did Gethard's face.
You did Gethard's face, and in general, the sort of the not scorch marks, but the dark spots on the bread was you.
Yeah, to sort of make it
On
look
that one.
like Gethard.
Yeah.
Which is why I say that on this one, in which all of those dark scorch marks are no longer a human face, that was
That was
you.
me. That's what I was saying.
This is
one's
one
me.
Nundo PU.
And it's the same general sandwich as you said, but with some differences in how the toppings are colored, and then with the Planet Scum globe made out of the burn marks.
Which I fucking love.
Um,
And I love how
and-
they're reflected, like the drips are reflected
Yeah.
further down.
Yeah.
I think that's just
yeah, because
fantastic.
it's the same pattern of the drips as the dripping planet, both here on the side and then down on the bottom. And that was
Talk about your first, the
that's
first
what I was-
draft.
So yeah, being tasked with making the official shirt for Sandwich Night 10
Did throw him into a little bit of a panic.
in a good way, because
In a
it's such
very
a cool
good way.
opportunity. So at first I was like, okay, I'll do like a 10, and I'll try to like include characters from all 10 years of Sandwich Night, like Human Fish, characters from the special, that sort of thing. And I just couldn't crack that. That just didn't feel right. So then I was like, okay, I'll do a, and this was your idea at first too, which was doing like a Warhol type of thing of 10 different sandwiches, roughly in a grid or a pyramid shape or something, to sort of show one per Sandwich Night. I was going to color them, like the first 4 were going to be Gethard show colors, and I was going to sort of try to use that to indicate what show was on at that point in the run.
Running into like the sort of neon pastels of the teen years, hopefully continued into the 20s, because I am married to neon pastels now. I am now an anachronism. I will remain here until it comes back around again, which it unlikely will, because how long we're going to have the ability to manufacture these colors, you know?
So, and when I say Warhol, I mean those like the iconic like Campbell's soup cans.
Is that even Warhol colors that you're about to show us?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
so he also liked the neon pastels.
He was all about the like doing a real, like a real, quote unquote realistic version, and then doing alternate ones. Like he has a whole Marilyn Monroe series where he reprinted them in neons. But so that was the initial concept, but that I just couldn't quite crack that either.
And again, it looked like, I mean, imagine this, but with 2 more layers to it and all on a shirt, like in this size.
And in this style. And they weren't this big. They were going to be probably like...
But the more we looked at it, it looked like a muddled mess.
Yeah. And so Bryson actually suggested, why don't you just do the Planet Scum logo as a sandwich? And that, we do love Emily Pineapple, neon pastels. I agree. Head Cheese Henry.
Head Cheese Henry's got good taste. What can I say?
Absolutely. And good puns.
Yeah.
But so that sort of unlocked it, and he was even the one who suggested going back to the old Geth sandwich and adapting it for this.
But you wanted to do the droopy.
But I wanted to make sure to hit the goop down there. Yeah.
So the goop was actually first. At first, it was just a goopy sandwich.
Yeah, I had cut out. I'd gotten rid of the lettuce, the cucumber, the meat, and all the other ingredients first.
And it was just going to be a grilled cheese
to try to be as faithful to the Planet Scum logo that Cohen designed a while ago at this point. And that was cool.
Look at this planet scumming all over itself.
And that was great. I loved that. And so, but I think it didn't quite read as the iconic sandwich just that way.
Yeah.
And so then I re-added in all of the fillings. Is it mustard or cheese? I think cheese, but the artist is dead.
It is dead.
If you think it's mustard,
I killed him.
Maybe it's mustard. But
this is not the artist. I killed him. He's dead. Yes, Doofus Clon. Planets coming all over themselves. Oh, shit. But who has arrived? To what does my wondering eyes appear?
This is when I wish I had the Stone Cold Steve Austin sound drop prepped.
Oh, hell yeah.
Uncle B, welcome to my grandmother's basement.
I came because I understand that there were some questions about 4 headlines. I just wanted to come in to say that not only, as everyone is well aware, Forrest did a phenomenal job with these designs, which, by the way, speaking of 4 headlines, I will say what Forrest is probably not going to bother telling anybody because he's too damn humble is that it was like a week and a half that we had to put all this together too.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
It was a real quick turnaround. These shirts were my life for a while.
So everyone who's keeping score, that's how many original designs that appeared in those 2 weeks.
Yeah. So not only did Forrest do a phenomenal job making all of these, and mind you, there's Forrest? It's 4 that were totally original. I have your stream open over here. I just realized. But 4 totally original designs that you did. But Forrest also cleaned up every single design that ended up going up as item of merch. If we get something, you guys, I'm sure, might be covering maybe some of the other ones, but like Riley's shirt was a design from Riley, and Mary's shirt was a design from Mary, but Forrest helped make sure that those were all good to go before we put them up. So I just wanted to step in to say how incredible of a job Forrest did. how great he put up with the late night notes of that might be too many forehead lines.
I want to talk about the late night notes.
They were great.
Yeah, let's talk about the collaborative process.
Yeah.
Because Forrest, you gained like so much. You were talking through it. Like I was there listening to you.
They turned out so much.
You fucking love the collaborative process, working with a team with notes. How is it getting the various designs, Bryson? And what have I been cutting you off from saying, Forrest?
That I think notes are a key part of the creative process, and the notes from people who are also creatively minded and have good
experience with the programs
on these types of things and insight is useful.
Yeah.
Like there are bad notes, but none of the ones I got were bad. They were all great.
This was the one that we were all pointing to even as we were doing it as like, oh yeah, we kept punching this one up until it just ended up being something that none of us anticipated it being. But yeah, the little 3D element of this guy, the forehead notes was a matter of like, what, Forrest? You had like 3 or 4, and I was just like, maybe 2. And then that was before we ended up doing the 3D thing. So at that point it's 6. So like none of those notes matter, but you know,
I think it helped because I think 3 with the 3D effect would have been so busy.
Yeah, it would have been
that it just wouldn't have read anymore. Like I think especially with the 3D effect we ended up doing that was a very good note.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you guys are going to get to the Judge Millie one. That was another one. There's some pretty good Easter eggs in the Judge Millie one that I won't scoop you on, Forrest, but we did a really fun way of getting this design turned around quickly. That ended up being really great.
So this was the final one that you designed from scratch, correct? You would say that this is the...
Yeah, this was the last one. This was the one that I was getting in right
Forrest,
before.
can you rotate the overhead camera just so people at home can see it?
Oh,
right side
you're
up?
right. This is upside down, but I'm flipping it over in my head.
Yeah, no, I did flip the camera.
Check this out, friends. Right side up. We got Judge Millie because she might look askance at justice for bribes. She's always right side up.
And it says, by the way, in case you can't read the writing there, it says Justice is blind, Judge Millie isn't, which is why she has her little blindfold just a little
Talk about the design of this one, because I know, Bryson, the original sort of like thought for the pose and what would be there was you, correct?
It was a clip art that we found online of like, you know, Lady Justice peeking out of her blindfold. And I sent that to Forrest, and I was just like, because I didn't want to put on Forrest coming up with completely original, like all of them completely original stuff. So I was like, what about something like this with Millie's head? And then we changed it around. What the clip art didn't involve was the pushing the scales in a particular favor, which is something that we ended up making a change towards. And in order for me to accurately convey to Forrest what I meant by that, I sent him the poster to a wrestling pay-per-view in which the wrestler Edge is tipping the scales for the Judgment Day pay-per-view. And I sent that to him, and that little Millie hand and the scales are modeled exactly after Judgment Day, whatever, 2008 or something.
Yeah, like I had the Edge picture and Millie sort of side by side, and I was like trying to get her hands in the Edge pose and everything. And
we're like, how much arm does there need to be?
Like how far does the rope need to go for it to read that that's her hand, not just
and
like
the line,
like a disembodied hand or something?
Yeah.
And then.
Oh, and then the nails.
The nails were a fun addition. It blew my mind to hear on sandwich night that she had forest green nails because of me.
She had forest green nails because of Forrest.
I don't know if I was on screen on the Discord wall during that, but I was just like...
And I also found out today that the person at Below the Collar, owned by 1 Hour Tees, same thing as Pro Wrestling Tees. I know you guys were mentioning Sting earlier. Mm-hmm. It itself is like a place that, you know, hires 50 people that all produce all of AEW's merch, and then they've been getting into making comedians merch as like a small offshoot of their business, and so that's what we're a part of with that. they're a relatively small operation still, and the rep that's been helping us is a woman by the name of Maggie, and she's been incredibly helpful, especially in turning all this stuff around within the small time frame that we did. And Maggie is a Planet Scum fan. Maggie, when I initially emailed her, responded to my email and said, "I'm a big fan of all the work that you do down the Bumper Factory." And then as we were emailing back and forth over as much as I was bugging Forrest, I was bugging Maggie just as much. And
we stand Maggie.
And in emailing Maggie a whole bunch, I would just tell her so sorry for these, this barrage of emails. I hope you're having, I know that you guys are being overworked, take your time getting back to me on this. And she responded and she was like, I'm looking forward to turn off my computer later tonight and enjoying sandwich night. And Maggie actually was a video caller on sandwich night, and it was the woman that had the baby and their audio didn't work. That was Maggie, our rep from 1 Hour Teas. So Maggie is part of the community and works over there. So shout out to Maggie and the whole team over at 1 Hour Teas.
Tell me about getting this all set up, Bryson, because this isn't just as individuals, we can all go onto TeePublic and upload a picture and then be like, oh, it's print on demand. Tell me what comes from working with this really awesome small business and what that side of things looks like.
Well, I would say, to be fair, just because I'm the child of a small business owner, and to call 1 Hour Teas, and this is to their credit, to call that a small business is not exactly directly correlated to how I typically imagine a small business, but they're killing it, and it sort of feels like it's all wrapped around Colt Cabana's DIY lifestyle. It was a t-shirt vendor out of Chicago.
So Colt is part of establishing it. It wasn't just a t-shirt company. It was who needs shirts? Wrestlers.
There's a really great show. There's a really great Forrest? It's like a 19-minute documentary on YouTube called Behind the Merch, and it tells a little bit of the story. This guy Ryan had the company 1 Hour Teas out of Chicago. He was just a t-shirt printer, and so he did that as his business. Colt was an independent wrestler. Colt needed a way to make his merch. He linked up with this guy Ryan. He was like, "Hey, would you make my merch?" Ryan was like, "Great." They set that up, and then Colt was like, "This is something that all the independent wrestlers should do," because independent wrestlers typically would buy shirts in large quantities and sell them physically at shows, but they were missing the market of fans of theirs that they aren't interfacing with in person. So what 1 Hour Teas did is they ended up establishing the online marketplace for individuals to sell their designs, and so Colt basically threw the gasoline on that fire, and Colt recruited and got all of the independent wrestlers to do their merch through 1 Hour Teas. That's how that built up. And then by the time you get to a couple years ago when AEW was forming, now 1 Hour Teas, which was just a guy and his buddies who were doing printing out of Chicago, they are now the manufacturer of all merchandise for AEW. So they do little offshoots. 1 Hour Teas is for the umbrella company. They have Pro Wrestling Tees, which is their pro wrestling arm. They have Below the Collar, which sort of encapsulates a bunch of other niche markets where they think that they could do sort of a similar thing, maybe not as popular as pro wrestling, but they're looking at, there's Comedian Tees is their sub brand, Podcast Tees, and I forget, I forget what the name is, there's bands, Anywho.
It's super cool to me that also the designs I made are getting printed at the same places Jericho and Macho Man and Macho Man's on there.
And Stone Cold, like you were saying. But I would nerd out about this for far too long. But I can just say that it feels really good to be a part of a place that's making our shit that's sort of the same DIY flavor. And obviously it comes by way of Colt. Colt basically got us set up. So Colt got Gethard set up for Gethard to be selling his own merch, and then that was something that was coming up a lot in our conversations with people that were doing shows, is the idea of could we move towards doing merch? So that's what got us to where we are today. And I want to say, and I'll shout this from the rooftops, is that I absolutely appreciate 100% everybody that supports our shows and our team in doing all this. I figured this was something that we might talk towards the end of the year, maybe on a Plant Scum Live, but doing this merch is not so much a money grab, but us sort of fulfilling stuff that our artists were wanting and what our community was asking for. There were people on Twitter that were asking, how do I get Planet Scum logos on things? This is what the George Lucas Talk Show guys were talking about on their show a few weeks back when they were like, oh, don't talk about things being logos being on things. That would be out of the question. That's because this was in the works. But I want to say thank you to everybody who supports the show through the usual support the show ways, who buys the merch and everything like that. Hopefully hearing about what 1 Hour Tees is all about and Below the Collar. Hopefully that gives you a sense of the people that are making the stuff. And then obviously it's going into also supporting the people that host your shows and the people that do production on the shows, who all work incredibly hard. And, I'll just speak to myself as somebody who was furloughed from a job that he had for 9 years and a, steady salary gig. This has been something that, has sort of floated me. And that is incredibly special to me that I've been able to do this in a way that people enjoy and a way that people support organically. And I cannot express how much that means to myself, and I'll speak for the production team to an extent on there.
I mean, I want to second all that, the gratitude, because as someone who was sort of finally able to quit a job I really didn't like, because of this.
It was not going to.
It was.
The job was, look, no jobs are forever. This is a thing we have learned.
Exactly. I mean, this is like the fact
it's not like your job still exists.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I actually have no idea. But I love this. I love it. I wish I could go back in time and be when I was, back in 2013 when I was in a garage, just like streaming the old TCGS MNN shows. Yeah. Intermittently as they'd cut in and out, and just being like, loving the show, and I couldn't in ways I still struggled to explain why I loved it. I just knew I did, and so the idea that I did these official designs for it is just like, it's magical.
Well, it's phenomenal, and again, you did a fantastic job, and Lord knows we were doing it on a big time crunch. And
but it was such a fun thing to crunch on. It was so fun.
I'm glad that was your takeaway from that. But yeah, I just hope people know that it's, I feel really great about it, because it genuinely feels like all parts of this combined are supporting the types of people that you would want to support. And it feels like it does. I always equate things that we're doing to physical spaces. This does really feel like we're getting together at a physical location type thing. Like we are directly supporting one another. We are directly supporting the artists, Riley Soliner, none of this is paying anybody's, full-time, whatever, but like Riley Soliner can buy some groceries, can cover the grocery cost that week. And that's a shit that, actually means something. So thank you all for supporting the shows in all the ways, much. Including the merch.
Uncle B, I would love to hear from you. What was your absolute favorite part of working with Forrest on these?
Forrest, I mean, just working with Forrest in general. My favorite thing to do was to, because I could check in, because I could visibly notice or maybe just hear it, either in chats or voice conversations. That aspect that Forrest is saying of like, if you had told him that he was going to design the Sandwich Night 10 logo, So my favorite thing, and Forrest can back this up, is that even just recently when I was uploading Sandwich Night to the Gethard Show YouTube page, I messaged Forrest to be like, I hope you understand, in addition to all the like all the promo that went into Sandwich Night, all of, the shirt or whatever, I hope you also understand that your logo is going to be on a thumbnail on the Gethard Show YouTube page that you watched, you know, because that's the stuff, even for me, finding TCGS in 2014 and now working on the same stuff. We're all, the whole production team, it comes from the same place of like, we're working on a thing that we were all fans of. So that was my favorite part of working with Forrest, is that it direct correlation with how I know that I would be in that position, and Forrest is incredibly talented, and I think it works well. I don't mean to speak for you, Forrest, but I think it works well in that I'm usually able to provide you with some sort of mock-up, you know, and be like, run with it, and then Forrest usually comes back with gold, and we'll usually find something in between. That's I mean, that's the thing that's been great about working with Forrest.
I've enjoyed that. I liked having the initial sort of like, here's the general idea, and I'm like, cool, it's not just blue sky wide open. It's like, it's, you know, and I like that. I like working from the like, here's the general idea. Okay, cool. I get what I get what I'm aiming towards, at least.
Forrest is doing for Plant Scum what I was at least supposed to be doing for CGP, and Forrest does a much better job at it. So, you know, without going too much into it, I will say all of CGP, me doing like social media and making stuff for it, I've never to this day learned Photoshop. And so what's great is that I'm a real good ideas guy, but I can pass it off to somebody with actual talent like Forrest, who can make it actually look good. And I know you guys were giving shout outs to Dave Cohen as well a little bit ago. Shout out to Dave Cohen.
Because this mirrored thing is hard.
You're going to tell me on your show. Anyway, I'll work on it. I'll try to see if I can fix the mirror thing. Anyway, I don't mean to take up more airspace. I should go run. Have some, right? Am I thinking of time right? Yeah. I need to go have some dinner with the family before the show starts today. But I wanted to pop in, say, Forrest, you're phenomenal. Thank you for all the hard work that you did. Emily,
thank you.
You're the Terry Gross of the community. Thanks for doing that. And to everybody watching and everybody that's not even watching but part of the community, love you all, and supporting the shows the way that you do truly cannot put into words how much that means to the artists and the people putting on the shows. It really has floated us, and it really has made this thing continue to go farther than it would have otherwise. So that goes out to the entire community.
Thank you so much, sweet, Bryson.
Uncle B. Allie is totally right. The legacy is something so accessible, because even TCGS felt like, oh, there's this super cool thing happening somewhere else. It's so cool, though. We couldn't help but watch. And now everyone's here. Love you so much, Bryson.
Yeah, thank you. Have a great dinner.
Excellent dinner.
With the fam.
With the fam.
I'm scarfing it down. Shrimp burrito. I'll see you all at Plant Scum Live.
See you then.
See you then. Bye-bye.
I hope that shrimp sits. Okay. I don't know. I don't eat seafood. The only things I know about seafood are people's horror stories about eating seafood. It usually sits fine. For me, at least. Having terrible bathroom incidences on dates.
I've never had that.
I fear meat.
Well, it works out that you don't eat it then. But this was incredible. We wanted to do the unboxing, or I wanted to do the unboxing on the air just because I'm just so excited. It's just so crazy seeing things I designed on like actual physical merch.
And like not just merch that like we ordered for you for Christmas.
Yeah, not just
because I do love those things.
Which I also appreciated. But it's just crazy. Like, it's been crazy. I've loved seeing everyone in the Discord showing off the merch. That's been like he tells me every time. I tell her every time.
Oh, someone just got their merch. They really love it. I'm like, yeah, because it's fucking sick. I get so excited
every time. Oh, Doofus Clown is saying something you're going to disagree with, but I feel obligated to bring up.
Okay.
Seafood is great. It comes from the ocean, our true home.
I'm sure that's the case, but not everyone goes to their true biological home, okay? You don't need to just accept that part of you just because it was ancestors. I mean, look, my ancestors were probably fascists. And then the other side were a bunch of Jews.
That got real very quickly. Yes, Sarasota. Emily, stay out of the ocean pineapple.
Just don't. Just stay out of it. It's not for us.
But also, I'm going to bring up that...
We may have come from there, but it is not for us. Keep your trash out of it. Keep yourself out of it. Henry,
Thank you for watching and coming.
You're incredible. You are all so incredibly sweet.
Thank you, everyone who is watching and has been commenting, or even if you're just watching and haven't commented. It means a lot that you watch us.
All of your art means so much.
All the art has been amazing.
Like
participation in the Planet Scum community, everything on the Discord, like
this community is incredible.
I feel like we're making a big old thing together. Look, when everyone probably has fascists somewhere in their family line. I'm just gonna. Most people probably do. I don't know. Do most people have fascists in their family lines? I suppose I'm literally only thinking about like European fascism, which is extremely Eurocentric.
Oh yes, do keep your trash out of the ocean as well. The ocean is not trash's home or people's home.
I do like looking at the Pacific Ocean.
Oh yeah, Pacific's.
I like looking at it.
I'm biased, being as we're in San Francisco, but it is my favorite ocean.
I feel almost like it's a forest. You know how people like the woods, but like we're next. I suppose I am next to a forest right now.
Also, as a reminder, in 8 minutes, it's time for the Vice Famous pre-show on the Discord.
In 8 minutes, it is the Vice Famous pre-show. Friends, I want you all to know how similar England looks to Northern California. We've been watching a lot of The Crown. I didn't realize how indoctrinated with like American freedom I was until watching this thing and being like, that's so fucking stupid. Like, what the fuck? Like, no, she doesn't just have to do shit.
Where's the wall between separation between church and state? Where's that wall?
The head of church? Like, what the fuck is this?
Oh, Frank Ocean.
Oh, Frank Ocean.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair, Allie.
Yeah, that is super fair.
But just
that's what I'm saying. Fucking fascists. You're either a fascist or a Jew. Or some,
that's a statement you're going to walk back from, probably.
I suppose not everyone was either a fascist
there's more
or a
than
Jew.
those two things.
There are a lot more than those two things. There are a lot more than those two things.
The Palace of Prince Charles is from the northern Spain, so that's probably what we were seeing that looked like Northern California.
Is the Northern Atlantic cold like the Pacific? Is the Pacific cold everywhere?
I mean, the Pacific's colder than the Atlantic, generally.
Why?
I don't know. I do merch, not science.
I think that perhaps one of the reasons I fear the ocean so much is because I fundamentally do not understand it.
We did get to that part, Allie. The guy blew.
Yes.
That was wild.
Yes. Oh my God, we're watching it backwards.
Yeah, we watched it backwards as George Lucas intended.
Watch it backwards.
Yeah, watch it.
Season 4, Season 3, Season 2, Season 1. So you can be like, damn, all these people really fucking suck when they get old. Great. The fact that I understand why they suck so much does not.
It's fun seeing the bits of dramatic irony that are getting set up in the early seasons to prepare for the later seasons, rather than just being like, oh no, it turns out they're terrible. But thank you all again for watching, for everything you do. This is a wonderful community, and it means a lot to be part of it.
And instead of The Crown, what you all need to do is go to the Discord for the Vice Famous pre-show. I promise it's way better than watching Matt Smith just be an asshole for like 2 whole seasons and then some other dude be like an asshole.